Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of A Gardener's Journey Homestead. I'm Barbara. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to be freeze drying a whole bunch of stuff. So I thought I would turn the camera on and take you with me. This will be linked in my freeze drying playlist. I just got a brand new freeze dryer in February of this year after putting it or deciding I was going to get one a year and a half before that. I have a video where I talk about how I got a freeze dryer and how it was attainable for me. So I would encourage you to go check that out, because if you want a freeze dryer and you're afraid of the investment, I want you to go watch that video, and it may be a way for you to get a freeze dryer as well. So this is only my third time doing a video on my freeze dryer. I'm still fairly new with it, but I'm having a good time just exploring and doing some things with it. So one of the first things that we're going to do today is we're going to experiment with freeze drying lemons and bananas, and I'm gonna see what else, how much I have of that, and then we'll see what else is gonna fill up the trays. But that's the first thing that we're gonna do. So I was at a hotel last week and I went down to get some breakfast, and they had some oatmeal and they had all of these toppings. And so in my oatmeal, I usually like some type of, pecans, nuts, just something, some brown sugar. But they had these bananas that I'm pretty sure were freeze dried. If they could have been dehydrated, I'm not 100% sure. But I put them in my oatmeal and I really, really loved it. So I'm thinking, I can do that. I can do that at home. So I don't know if they were dehydrated or freeze dried. I think they were freeze dried because they seemed to be, I don't know what's the word. They were crispy, but a different type of texture. But either way, I figure it's going to be almost the same. So what I'm going to do is I bought some bananas. I don't know. This is probably just enough for one tray. Yeah. So we're going to try it and experiment. But I'm going to freeze the stuff that I'm doing ahead of time, because if I need more stuff to go in the freeze dryer, then that stuff is already frozen. I already know what I'm going to supplement with if I don't have enough to fill up these trays. It's going to be strawberries and mangoes. I attempted to freeze dry strawberries and mangoes earlier this week, but there was a really bad storm that came through our area. And again, it wasn't supposed to necessarily hit our area, and there was really no bad weather. Like, we had some rain, that was about it. But we lost power for almost 24 hours, and that was in the middle of me freeze drying. So needless to say, I lost all of that fruit, which hurt my heart, because I had specifically bought those mangoes in bulk to freeze dry. So it came with 5 bags of mangoes. I lost 3 of them in that episode. Yeah. That's what happens. That is what happens. So we're going to try the banana. So let's go ahead and cut up our bananas, and let's see if we have enough to fill up at least one tray. Okay, guys, so 3 bananas did pretty much a whole tray. So that's good to know in terms of perspectives. And my bananas are, regular size banana. I do have some that I've already put on another tray. So I'm going to actually put the cover on it. So I showed this in a previous video. I bought this from Harvest Right. These are the lids that go to the trays, which I love. So I can pop this in the freezer just like that and let them freeze. So if you're not gonna freeze dry right now, like I could do this, let's say bananas are about to go bad and we're not gonna eat them in time, or we're gonna be out of town, all that, then I can do this, pop them in the freeze dryer, and then whenever I'm ready to load up my freeze dryer or need a tray to go in there as a supplement, then I already have these things frozen, which is gonna cut down the freeze drying time. So I really, really, really love these lids. This is my first time using it, because everything else I've been doing so far actually came or was already in the freezer. So I'm glad to be able to use these. And again, these lids came from Harvest Right. The freeze dryer I have is the medium freeze dryer, which we love so far. It's been perfect. It comes with 5 trays. So I already have one done. I have 3 more bananas left. So that means I'll get 2 trays of bananas for sure. So we are doing good. I'm going to finish chopping up the bananas to put on the second tray, and then get those in the freezer, and then we'll go to our next item. Okay, so we have two. So we have two trays of bananas. That worked out perfectly. And that was a total of, I think, 6 bananas. So that's good perspective for me to know 3 bananas per tray. That works out good. And I'm good to start with just 2 trays. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do an experiment with freeze drying lemons, which I'm really excited about. And so I saw somebody doing this. And so here's how I envision that I'm going to do it, because I ordered some freeze-dried lemons from Azure Standard. They were very, very pricey last year. And my thought was I could use it for teas. You know, so if you're making like a cup of tea, if you're sick or just want some hot tea, you could pop that in there and it would rehydrate. So I thought that would be good for that. But then also I'm going to see if I can like rehydrate it and use it like for real, for real. So I think I'm going to do some slices. I think I'm going to start off with that. But I figure you can put them in tea and lemonade and it'll have the same lemon flavor. We're going to try it. So I bought a bag of lemons. I'm assuming this will probably make a tray's worth. I bought 2 bags of lemons, but one of my bags of lemons is for juicing. So let us slice this right on up and see what happens. So I'm just going to do slices, I think. I think that's what I'm going to start off with and see how I like that. I think the person that I saw doing it, she didn't like wedges, so to speak. Oh, it smells so good. I love the smell of lemon. I may have enough for more than 1 tray, which is great. I want to say those freeze-dried lemons from Azure Standard, it might have been $20 for a bag. I don't remember exactly. I'm going to look it up and see if I can put it up here. If I can, if I remember. Yep. So, already, that piece is a little thick. Let's see if we can. So that's 2 lemons. I have 4 left. I think I'll be able to get 2 trays. I'm trying to cut them relatively the same thickness as you can see here. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's like 14 slices. So let me grab my lids. And these lids stack perfectly in the freezer, just like on top of each other, which is fantastic. So that's 1 tray of that. And I guess I could put more on there, but I don't want to crowd it. Let me grab 1 more tray. I'm just going to keep chopping these lemons and get that set up. Okay, so I have 2 trays of lemons. I have 1 lemon left and I have 1 tray left. So we're going to keep going. And what I'm going to supplement with is an orange. So I'm going to do some orange slices, which is on my list anyway, but I didn't know if I would have enough space. And I didn't want to do 2 trays of oranges because, again, I bought the oranges to juice. But since I only have 1 lemon left, that'll take up 1 side. I'm going to go ahead and do an orange and do that. Now, I'm assuming with dried oranges, oh, that looks so good. Look at that. I would use this also for tea. So anything that has, you know, that you want a citrus flavor with, yeah. So that's 1 orange there. Got 1 more orange. I'm stealing from my juice stack. I'm gonna make some juice using my Nama juicer and do it in bulk and freeze it. So pretty with the lemons. Why not? Because why not? Let's see if this is a good orange. That's good. Oh no. I'm so uncouth. Because who does that on camera? Me. Okay. There you have it. Pop the lid on. See how they stack? Just like that. So I've already put the bananas in the freezer. These are gonna go in the freezer. And then when it's time for me to freeze dry, I'll bring you back. I don't even know if I'm gonna freeze dry these today. It may be a day or two before I do it, but I'll bring you back and let you see the process and the final product. Okay, I ended up freeze drying on the same day. So this is 2 days after the original video. It took about, if I remember correctly, maybe 17, 18 hours to freeze dry. You see that I've taken them out and now I'm just putting them in jars. They are completely dry. So I'm starting with the bananas and putting them in those jars. These jars are linked in my Amazon shop. You want to make sure that you're using a jar with an airtight lid. And then also I'll put an oxygen absorber in there. But these jars are 25 ounces. They have the lids that clasp. And so I'm just putting the bananas in there, closing it up. And so that's one done. And now I'm going to move on to the next one. Okay, so now I've got my 2 jars of bananas done. I started doing the lemons, but because the lemons are much bigger, I switched from the airtight specialty jars that I bought, and I just went with the regular mason jar because it can hold more. And it took me a couple of times to get it the way that I wanted. I eventually end up taking these out again and trying to stack them a little bit better so I can get more in there. I was wanting it to look pretty. So I wanted them to kind of be layered and have a good look. So again, you'll see me taking it out again and trying it all over again, trying to get a better visual presentation. Does that matter with the taste of the food? No, it doesn't, but I just like things that look pretty. Okay guys, you saw me bring the stuff in from the freeze dryer and I've packaged it up. I went ahead and just packaged it up so that I could voice that part over, because it's saying that you need to immediately, package it up so there's no moisture in it. So we end up getting 2 jars of lemons. You saw me, I was starting to put them in these, but this is 25 ounces, it doesn't hold as much, but all the bananas fit in there. We got 2 bananas, as you can see. And then we have 1 thing of oranges. How pretty is that? So I would say that's pretty successful. I forgot to look at the time that it took to to freeze dry. So I don't remember the time. And I was gone when it stopped the process. But I know that at 15 hours, it was almost done drying. So if I had to guess, it probably took 18 to 19 hours, somewhere along in there, once you factor in the extra drying time. So not quite 24 hours if I had to guess, but pretty close. But one of the nice things about the freeze dryer is that if you're not here, it just keeps it cool. So you don't have to worry about it if you're not immediately there to take it out. The freeze dryer will stop, but it will keep it cool until you finish the process and you open it and all that good stuff. So what I've done now is I'm rehydrating because I wanted to see what a lemon looked like rehydrate. So I put it in a bowl of water. It's probably been in here maybe 5 minutes or so. I don't know if you can tell, but it's rehydrating now. I also have the same thing with the orange and with the banana. Now the banana, it's already rehydrated really quickly because these are thin and small. Oh, there was one part that wasn't completely hydrated because I had a little crunch. But what a great snack. Man, I wish I would have had this when my kids were so super small, because this would have been great snacks for them to have instead of buying those. I'm trying to remember what they used to call them when the kids were younger. It wasn't, but it was like some type of puff. It was like a fruit that probably was dehydrated or freeze dried, and like a puff that I used to buy for my kids. But like this would be the perfect snack if you had a baby. I mean, it's a perfect snack for an adult too, but I'm just thinking about when my kids were small and how much money I spent on baby food and all of that. Like this could have really come in handy for that. Like I've already tasted one of these. It tastes good. It tastes just like banana. It's crunchy. So this will be good in oatmeal, and you can rehydrate it and use it right away. Put it in something. You could also use this in smoothies. So yeah, that's great. Great. Now let's see about this lemon and see if it's completely. So you can't hardly tell, but you can. Here, let us, so of course it was, let me show you one. This is what it looks like. I keep saying dehydrated, freeze dried. You can kind of see it's completely dry. This one has been rehydrated. So let me just put a slit in this so you can tell that I broke it. Woo! That's a real lemon. And it's like I just cut it. That is wild. That, whew, I dare say is even more tart than the original before I did it. That's, y'all, this is wild. This is amazing. Woo! Game changer. Do you hear me? Y'all, there have been times when I have run out of lemons in my house, fresh lemons, and I need some. This right here, now I have lemons at my disposal. I love it. I love it. Oh my goodness, y'all. I'm so excited. This was a winner. Y'all, this is like literally sucking and eating a fresh lemon. Like, just like that. It rehydrated in like 5 minutes. Okay, let's look at the orange. Let's see if it still tastes like an orange. Okay, so you see that here. That's rehydrated. Cut a little slit in it like that. You can see that. That's good. That's unreal. That is so good. Oh my goodness. So very good. So very good. Okay, y'all. I am so excited about our little experiment with our next experiment with the freeze dryer. So we were able to get literally 2 things of lemons, a thing of oranges, as well as 2 things of bananas. I am super, super, super excited at this experiment.
Man, that's good.
What it tastes like?
Tastes like an orange. Man. Yeah, that's good. That's real good. I'm done with this freeze dryer.
Hey guys, you saw my husband. He came in as I was doing the video and he wanted to taste. He tasted the banana and then you saw him on camera do the orange. Tastes just like an orange. So y'all, I think we have a winner. We have a winner. Now there's many ways to preserve. And again, if you don't have a freeze dryer, then make sure that you are finding a way to preserve your food some way in a way that you and your family enjoy. I'm going to do an upcoming video on the various ways of preservation because I think that's really important. If you're growing a garden, you want to make sure that you have fresh food to eat, but you also want to grow enough food that you can save it to eat for later. Why would you want to do that? One, because the price is going to be constant, because you grew it yourself and you don't have to go buy it in the store. 2, you know what's in it. I mean, I could go on and on and on. I don't have to give you a lesson about that, but I do want to talk about the need for food preservation. This is just one of the ways. And again, remember, we just got a freeze dryer. I've been preserving food before I got a freeze dryer. So I don't want you to feel like you're not in the game if you don't have a freeze dryer. You're still in the game. You can still preserve food. Just find a way to do it that you and your family like. And I think it's really important to have the skill of preserving food. So I'm really excited about this freeze drying experiment with the lemons, the bananas, and the oranges. So we will definitely be doing that again. So I will make sure that I keep turning on the camera when I'm freeze drying so that you can, again, walk through my journey with me as I'm learning on how to freeze dry, what I like, what I don't like, and all of those things. But so far, we are, you know, we 2 out of 2. 3 out of 3. Yeah, 3 out of 3. We 3 out of 3 so far. So remember, gardening is a journey. This is part of it. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.